Do you remember the first time you truly grasped the concept of death? The chilling realization that one day everything you know, everyone you love, and your own consciousness will simply cease to be. That every being that has ever experienced life will also experience death. It sends us on a desperate search for answers. What does it look like? What does it feel like? If you could cross to the other side, snap a picture, and bring it back, what would that image be? We search for a single pixel of understanding in books, in religions, in the deepest corners of our minds, only to find we are just as lost as the first human who ever questioned their own mortality. For all our progress, for all our history, no one knows for sure how we got here or what happens after. And yet, every day, we wake up, we brush our teeth, we worry about money, taxes, and car insurance, all the mundane human things, while carrying the profound knowledge that we are doing all of this just to die. We know the clinical definition of death, the cessation of biological processes. But what does it times mean, times to experience it? The truth is, we don't know. That's the great, terrifying secret. The only thing we know for certain is that life is a cycle, and anything that is alive will inevitably die. For 4 billion years, this has been the rhythm of our world, yet the after remains a complete mystery. This isn't a new question. We humans have been burying our dead for over 100,000 years, long before we even learned to plant wheat. We can't know for sure, but we assume it was for reasons similar to our own, a belief in an afterlife, a hope that the energy of a person is transferred somewhere else. It seems to be a uniquely human ritual to honor the end. NNAs, our societies evolved and we no longer had to worry about saber-toothed tigers in the bushes, we had more time to ponder this ultimate question. The acknowledgement of our mortality became a cornerstone of countless religions and philosophies. Some believed in reincarnation, the idea that death is not an end, but another step in an endless cycle of birth, growth, and decay. Others imagined an afterlife, a divine destination like heaven or the underworld, where our consciousness continues. Life, in this view, is a trial, a testing ground to determine our eternal fate. But when you examine these ideas with cold logic, they begin to fray. If there is a heaven, what do you do there forever? What happens after a quintillion years? Does it ever end? And if it does, what comes after that? An eternity of consciousness feels less like a paradise and more like a recipe for insanity. Reincarnation sounds appealing until you realize that the life of almost any other creature is a downgrade from a 21st century human existence. And if you don't remember your past lives, what's the point? You aren't becoming something greater. You're just resetting the game over and over, without purpose. No matter how you spin it, from an afterlife to becoming a ghost, every scenario eventually leads back to the same question: what happens at the times real times end? The most logical conclusion, the one we all run from, is that when we die, nothing happens. It is the end of consciousness. When we observe everything around us, we see that when something dies, it does not return. There are no memories, no thoughts, no breath. It slowly becomes nothing. Thinking about this brings a cold feeling to the chest. The thought that this is all going to end, and there's nothing I can do about it. Everything is temporary. Even if science tripled our lifespan or we uploaded our minds to machines, the universe itself will eventually die. We are strapped in for a ride that only goes one way. Death is the final nail in the coffin. No do-overs, no resets. It is our dark North Star, the one fundamental truth we cannot escape. So, why is it so terrifying? Perhaps it's a combination of 3 things: the unknown, its finality, and its inevitability. And death is the greatest unknown. We can photograph black holes and engineer miracles of technology, yet we have no idea what it means to not be conscious. We can't even conceive of true nothingness. Anything you can imagine, even an infinite black void, is still a times something asterisk. When we die, we won't be there to know we are dead. There will be no good, no bad, no boring. There won't even be a you anymore. It is an absence so complete our minds cannot grasp it. And arguably worse is its finality, the fact that it lasts forever. Our brains short-circuit when trying to comprehend eternity. When you die, you will remain dead for an infinite amount of time. The life you are living right now will never return. Lie down and imagine taking your last breath. Imagine the world going dark and never becoming light again. Imagine all your memories, your perception of time, fading not to black, but to that incomprehensible nothing. Realize that this is 100% going to happen. In that moment, what will your life have meant to you? We try to cheat this finality by building monuments, by carving our names into history, but time erodes all things. Do you know the name of your great-great-grandfather? After a few generations, we too will be forgotten. Every statue will crumble, every photograph will fade. Eventually, the earth itself will be gone. Nothing we do can permanently etch our legacy into the fabric of time. And the cherry on top? All of this is guaranteed. It will come for us all. But what if the real fear isn't death itself? What if we're more afraid of dying before we've truly lived? To leave this world knowing we didn't see that one place, try that one thing, or tell that person how we truly felt. The ultimate human fear is not the end of life, but the end of a life that was never truly lived. Think about it. When a child dies, it's a tragedy because of their unfulfilled potential. They never got to experience a full life. But when an older person who lived a long, full life passes, it is still sad, but it is also a celebration of their existence. The pain is different. So, what does it mean to live a full life? There's no single answer, which means you are free to create your own. For me, it begins with accepting the ultimate meaninglessness of it all. If nothing I do will matter in 1 billion years, then I can't really mess up. There is no wrong way to live. This isn't a depressing thought, it's a liberating one. It means I am free to live however I want, according to my own values. And instead of searching for a grand, cosmic purpose, I can simply act. I can pursue my interests, achieve my goals, for the sake of achieving them. I can try different foods, see the world, create, learn, and love. Why does life need an external meaning to be lived? Does the taste of good food change? Does the emotion from a beautiful song feel any different? Meaning is a human concept. If the universe doesn't offer one, we can create our own. And the fact that our time is finite gives our choices weight. It creates urgency. It forces us to decide what truly matters and to pour our energy into that, ignoring the rest. I don't want to reach my deathbed filled with regret, knowing I lived a life dictated by someone else. I want to look back and know that I wrote my own script. My personal compass is this. On my deathbed, which path would I regret the least? Would I regret taking a risk to build a life true to myself? Or would I regret staying in the same place, making excuses, because someone else said it was too risky? That final moment when your life flashes before your eyes is the only judgment that matters. Not your parents, not your teachers, not society's, yours. The life you want to see in that final review is the life you should start building today. And yes, death is terrifying. That will probably never change, but worrying about it is not useful. If you were watching a movie, would you stop enjoying it because you knew it would end? No. You would give it your full attention, savoring every frame precisely because you only get to watch it once. Our life is that movie, and we are the directors. Just because it has a finite runtime doesn't mean it's not worth making it the best damn movie you can. And we may never find an answer to why, but we will also never find an answer to why. Why not see how far you can go? Why not see what you can create and experience? Why not turn your childhood dreams into reality? Why wait until you're almost dead to start living? The fact that a rose doesn't last forever is what makes us cherish its beauty. We are all doomed to die. We will all be forgotten, but it is the expiration date on everything that makes it enjoyable. What a privilege it is to be here at all, to have a mind, to have lungs, to take another breath. After 13 billion years of cosmic history, you are here. Briefly, but you are here. N2, know that you are going to die means you first have to be alive. What a shame it would be to waste this one precious chance fearing what comes next, something you can never even experience. The only real thing to fear is reaching the end of this beautiful, fleeting experiment called life and knowing it was never truly lived. And so, live. Maybe that's the whole point. Maybe, in the end, that's enough.